Cheevo, guys!
What up, guys? This is
Cheevo, guys!
back again with another achievement guide. Today, we're going to be focusing on Beyond Blue. This game was developed and published by Eline Media. It was inspired by the BBC wildlife series Blue Planet 2. This game is pretty easy on the achievements. I'd say it's going to take anywhere from 4 to 6 hours to get your full completion or platinum trophy. The game is $19.99. If you're interested in purchasing it, I will have a link in the description as always. This game is a single-player narrative adventure. We're going to be swimming through the ocean as a scientist and deep-sea explorer. I don't know why, but the game really reminded me of Pokemon Snap. I mean, I know Pokemon Snap is like an on-the-rails type of game, but you know, it's a game where you were purely taking pictures and scanning Pokemon. And here in Beyond Blue, that's exactly what we need to do. Is we need to scan all of the fish and the sea life in the game. While swimming, you have to make sure that you press LB to open up your scanner, and then you could hold RB to scan a fish. Eventually, as you progress through the story, you'll be able to deep scan fish and then eventually tag them. And that's really what this game is all about. As I mentioned before, you're a deep sea explorer and scientist, and your goal is to do research on all of this sea life. Overall, I'd say this is a very relaxing game. It's super chill and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, real quick, I want to talk about this whale shark right here, because this is the guy that messed up my whole completion. It made it a lot longer for me. That whale shark has 3 little fish below it, and they're called remora fish. Now, all of the fishes actually pop up on the map, so I know it sounds intimidating that we need to scan every single fish in the game, but they do pop up on the map so you know exactly where they are. Now, the problem that I ran into was, for some reason, the developers forgot to put a scanner on the remora fish. So the last 3 fish I needed to scan in the game were those 3 remora. I had scanned a whalefish without scanning the 3 remora below it, and there was no trackers linked to that remora fish. I actually sent the developer an email about it, telling them to make sure that they put the circle trackers on the map linked to the remoras, because there's only a tracker linked to the whale shark, not the remoras beneath them. And you do need to scan all the remora fish to get all of the achievements or trophies in the game. So my biggest tip, biggest advice in this video is, if you see the whale shark, make sure you scan the 3 fish below it. There's actually only 4 whale sharks in the game. 3 of those 4 are going to be located in the Atoll Day location. There is a whale shark located in the open water. However, that one doesn't have any remora beneath it. Now, real quick, I'll pull up the map so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All of those circles around the map, those are all fish that I have not scanned yet. So at any time, you can press start and go to your map, and you can locate all of the fish that you still need to scan. You could also save your game. You want to make sure that you're saving your game often. Besides that, you can go to the Insights tab. These are little videos that you unlock as you progress through the game. They're actually really cool to watch. You get an achievement for watching your first one, and you get an achievement for watching all of them. Now, you don't need to actually watch the video. You can skip through it. However, you need to watch like the last 2 seconds, you know, at least technically the last second of the video for it to count. So I usually skip to, you know, like it only having like 3 seconds left, and then that counts as the video being watched. I'll show you guys a bit more about the insight videos in a minute. For now, I want to keep talking about the basic game. Now, there's really 2 ways that you could go about completing this game. You could rush through the story and just playing, you know, the main objectives to get through the dives quickly. If you do that, the game only takes about 2 hours. If you're scanning things along the way, I would say it takes about 3 hours. Now, that's just the story mode, guys. So the story in itself is 8 dives. Again, it's going to take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. But after that, you'll be able to re-dive in any of these locations, and you'll be able to press start, look for the fishes that you missed, and you can go scan them, because we are going to need to scan every fish in every one of these levels. So it's going to take about another 2 or 3 hours of mopping up and going back and scanning all of the fishes that you missed. Now, as I mentioned before, if you guys see that whale shark, make sure you scan the fish below. That is where I messed up right there, guys. And I ended up spending literally hours trying to figure out where these remoras were. I found out that they were beneath the whale shark, but then I was trying to find the one whale shark that still had the unscanned remoras beneath it, and I had no help on the map. I completely had to just, swim around the level until I found the whale shark with the 3 fishes below it that I didn't scan. So, do yourself a favor, guys, and don't be like me, and make sure that you scan the 3 fish below the whale shark. Now, as long as you're scanning everything in the game, and you ultimately end up scanning every fish or every sea life, by the end of the game, you will have all of the achievements. The only achievements that aren't related to scanning things are the achievements related to like the DJ booth in the main submarine. You can change your song, and we need to change our song 5 times for 2 achievements. And then we also have that achievement or achievements related to watching those insight videos. Besides that, guys, literally all you have to do is complete the game and make sure that you scan every single thing in the game, every level. Now, real quick, back to the insight videos, just so you guys have a good understanding of how to accomplish these achievements. All you need to do is watch the video either naturally or skip all the way to the end of it, and just make sure that it still has a couple seconds left, and just watch the last few seconds of it, and then it will count. But I can confirm, if you skip all the way to the end and you don't watch the last couple seconds, it will not count as you watching that insight video. So at least watch the last couple seconds for it to count. First, we're going to get an achievement for 10 gamer score called A Little Insight for watching our first insight video, and then we'll get another achievement once we complete the game and we watch all of the insight videos that are available in the pause menu. So just make sure to come back to this insight menu once you complete the game to watch all of the videos. And again, just make sure to watch at least the last few seconds of each of those videos. Besides that, if you walk over here, you're going to see a tablet with like a music playlist on it. We get an achievement for picking a song. So you want to pick at least one song. That's going to trigger our first achievement worth 10 gamer score called Don't Touch My Radio for choosing your own music at least once from the playlist. There's actually another achievement related to this. It's a secret achievement, and that's for choosing a different song 5 times. So just simply change the song 5 times, and then you'll unlock your second achievement worth 20 gamer score called High Fidelity for choosing a song off of the playlist 5 different times. Now, after each mission in the story mode or each dive, you have to go sit in this chair and you have to make a couple calls or take a couple calls, and you can press A to skip through all of that dialogue if you're not interested in reading it or hearing it. You can skip through with A, and then you'll simply go back and interact with your swimsuit to participate in the next dive. Now, if you haven't completed the game yet, when you click the suit, it will automatically progress to the next dive, versus if you have already completed the game, you can go interact with the dive suit to choose the level. After you complete it, it basically has like a chapter select feature once you click your suit. Now, overall, we have 8 different dives. After you complete the 8th dive, you are going to complete the game. An achievement will pop after the 8th dive for completing the 8th dive, but you'll also get another achievement for completing the game. So you get 2 achievements after the 8th dive. One pops after the mission, and then the other one pops right before the credits. That achievement for completing the game is going to be worth a lot more gamer score. That one's going to be worth 100 gamer score. Alright guys, so as I mentioned before, this is where the real fun begins. Now we're going to have to go back into each level and make sure that we scan every single thing in each of those levels. But before we do that, let's go ahead and press start and look at the insights now that we have unlocked all of the videos. Again, you unlock all of the insight videos after you've completed the game. It might take a few minutes, but simply go into each of those videos, keep pressing RB until you skip to the very end with a few seconds left. Watch the last few seconds of each of those videos, and then eventually you're going to get your achievement for watching every single insight video, and that one's called binge mode, and that one's worth another 100 gamer score. Now at this point, all you should have left are achievements related to scanning. so we can go ahead and interact with our suit by pressing A. And again, we're going to need to go back to each of these levels and make sure that when we look at the map that there's no circles on the map. You'll have a good idea if you've found all of the circles if your achievement has popped. But I found that even when the achievement popped, sometimes I still had some items to scan on the map. So just make sure that even if your achievement pops, that you still make sure that there's no circles left, because ultimately there's one grand achievement or platinum trophy related to scanning every item or sea life in the game. So make sure that you don't skip any circles on the map. Now, I found that it was actually really hard to read or find the circles that are linked to the fishes on some of the maps. However, some of the locations are actually much easier to find the circles. For instance, the open ocean level doesn't have any bottom of the ocean, so there's no terrain map or anything like that, making it a lot easier to find the circles and scan all of the fishes in that level. Now, during this process of trying to scan all of these different fishes, you're going to be pulling up your map a lot. You're pretty much going to be pulling it up, swimming a couple seconds, and then pulling it up again to see how close you are to your target. Hopefully you're somebody with a good sense of direction, because you're definitely going to need it when looking at this map and trying to find all of these items to scan. And once you get to the more advanced levels, you have to start looking up and down, because there are some fishes that stay higher in the water, closer to sea level, and there are some fish that like to stay deeper in the water. Now, as mentioned before, you pretty much want to keep playing the level and scanning everything until you get the achievement related to scanning everything in that particular level. After that, just press start, look at the map, and just double check that there's nothing left. Next, I want to show you how to find out which fish you are missing. So you can go over to the table in the submarine, and here you can access the database, and you can see the count of how many fishes you have. So as you can see, I'm missing 3 of these remora fish. Now, after doing a lot of research, I ended up finding out that these remora are directly linked to the whale sharks. There's 4 whale sharks in the game, as I mentioned before. You can go to the science log and it will show you in which zones the fishes like to swim in, whether they like to swim higher in the water or deeper in the water. It will also tell you in which region these fishes are located. So if you go to the database and you find that you're missing a specific fish, you can look at the research and find out which location or region you can find the fish. That way you can go back to that level, scan the map, and make sure that you find the circle that you're missing. Now, luckily, after a lot of swimming around and doing some research, I finally ended up finding the whale shark, the one that I forgot to scan the remora beneath it. And I finally scanned them, and I ended up unlocking my final achievement for scanning everything in the game. That one's worth 200 gamer score, and that about wraps up this completion or platinum trophy, guys. As always, I appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe.